Truth, you are trying to 100%, yes?
Yes, yes.
Wait, I gotta repeat that. I have my recording shit muted. This is manga only. Borushiki, code fight. Truth has him, and Fuse Momoshiki from the Naruto vs Sasuke fight. Spencer has him. Truth, you are going all out, right?
Yes, I'm trying my full.
Okay, and this is what VSBW.
Yeah, standard battle assumptions.
Standard battle assumptions.
Unless you also use speed battle assumptions.
I don't know. I don't care. I'm probably fine with standard battle assumptions.
Okay, so standard battle assumptions. Truth is starting now.
Yeah.
Begin.
So what are your qualms with these feats? What are your qualms with these?
Just give me the full scaling chain. We can.
Yeah. Let me type. You want me to type it out?
Type it out if you would. Yeah. And we can go piece by piece whenever it comes to evidence, but let's type it out and just go down the chain, and I'll say whatever problem I have.
There you go.
I'd probably, my main contention would be Kawashiki over Delta V2. The three issues I have really are Kawashiki over Delta V2, Delta V2 needing to be equal to V1, and then V1 relating to Naruto.
Okay. Which one would you like me to start with?
Let's start down the chain, because if you concede one, I don't need to argue the rest.
Yes, that's fine. Where would I have that at?
When does Kawashiki versus Delta happen?
No, it's just stated that no one in the village can stop him, which would include people like Naruto and Delta.
Can I see that statement?
Yeah, I don't have it in my scan server. I got to go to the chapter.
What chapter is it?
It's one of the most recent ones. It's I don't remember exactly. Probably 72.
It should be like chapter. Check 69 or 70.
69. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember now. It's when he's getting interrogated by Code and them.
When Kawaki's getting interrogated by Code?
No, fucking Amato. Amato says it.
So when Amato gets kidnapped, that's like 70 or 71, I think. Or maybe it's 69, if it's like the end of 69.
Damn, these chapters get long as shit. I think it's the start of 70. Does no one have it like on hand?
I'm reading through the chapter starting at 69. I'm just gonna read through the full interrogation.
Y'all want me to just try to find it? I can probably grab it quickly.
Yeah, if you can.
Okay.
Oh, I found it. No, I found it.
What chapter is it?
70. I might have sent it in evidence. He says, Kawaki's presence has got to be a headache for you. I can't blame you. He was a seed of trouble to Konoha from the get-go, and now not even Lord Hokage can check his power any longer. Bro, I swear there's something else over in your shoes. Let me go see.
Sure, this is chapter 70?
Yeah, it's like near the end though. Around like so near the middle. Let me check.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't see quite anything. We're looking at chapter 70, pages 20 and 21.
Yeah.
Here's the full
See.
spread.
Oh, this is it. This is it. Nah, I was wrong about that statement.
Okay. What is it
It's
then?
this one. It's in chapter. Well, I don't know what chapter it is, but I'll send the scan I found. Here it is right here. He says Kawaki is regaining karma or has regained karma and has simultaneously inherited Ishiki's power. His powers like to keep growing. As of right now, there's no one in Konoha who can oppose his power, including the Hokage, except for me.
I'm just trying to find the scan real quick. And as of right now, there's no one in Konoha who can oppose Kawaki's power, including the Hokage, except for me.
And you of course wouldn't have a problem with Delta's V2 body being in Konoha at the time.
No, Delta's V2 body is in Konoha. I agree to that. There are two ways to interpret this statement from what I see. Either A, he's talking about like, hey, his power, because he says his power is likely to keep growing, and as of right now, there is no one who can oppose Kawaki's power, including the Hokage.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're looking at, right?
Yeah.
So it could easily be interpreted that what Amato is talking about is that as his power continues to grow, there is no one who can stop it.
That's not what it says.
I just read what it says. Obviously, what an interpretation isn't the exact word.
Yeah, I'm saying you're drawing the wrong conclusion, like just pretty objectively, because it says as of this moment, basically as of this moment right now, there's no one who can like stop his power. It doesn't say after his power is done growing or whatever.
I mean,
Well,
that's
that is
fair
a
enough.
factor.
But
Yeah.
then there's also the factor of right. Whenever we look at Amato, I believe even though Amato says that's not a bluff, it's the truth when he says Kawaki's the ace up my sleeve, right? In the page before.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that what Amato is trying to do is show that he still has use because directly after Code like tries to kill this bitch.
You trying to kill Amato?
Directly after, huh?
You saying you try to kill Amato after this?
Yeah. Code comes at Amato.
Well, he's not
Earlier in
trying
the
to kill
chapter.
him. He's trying to get him to unlock his limiters. But that doesn't matter. He can do that without lying. Like the statement can still hold true.
I'm saying that there's a possibility, equal possibility, in my opinion, that the statement is not true because he's trying to continue to prove useful to their current plan. Because as
Well,
long as he has use, there would be
if
no
he's trying to do that, if he's trying to do that, and he knows that there are people like Daemon that he's planning to go over to the village and like have a live there that can gauge their power on a pretty objective scale because we can see him comparing their powers to like Jigen and whatnot, then he would just be lying and he would eventually be killed for that. So him like doing that and being caught in a lie eventually, or him knowing that that could be possible to happen, it doesn't make sense.
actually, I would argue that it does, right? Whenever you're looking at someone who's in a captive situation, seeing playing 10 steps ahead isn't always what you can do. You sometimes have to play it by ear and just get a little bit more time because the longer Amato is with them, the more time he has to escape or make a plan to escape. So, buying himself a small amount of time while Ada is still just considering, I believe she's only just considering going to Konoha. as of right now. She hasn't resolved to do so until after this conversation.
Mhm.
Him buying himself an amount of time and heading back to Konoha, where he could possibly, right, have more use to them, would actually be beneficial to him and his livelihood. So I would argue that
Mhm.
there's equal possibility that the statement is true or false, and that he's bluffing in order to have some sort of use to the team.
Yeah, I completely understand your side, and I would agree with it if it were by some normal means. But he's here being threatened by two people that have the abilities of a fourth dimensional transcendent being. It's not like he really has the authority or like anything
That's
that would.
you're not saying that in the interest of scaling, but rather to point out
Yeah,
Amato's fear, right? Okay,
yeah, just
I had
showing
to
the
go over
gap.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I understand that, but they can't read his mind.
Yeah. They can't read his mind, but they can also they can. We've already established that they can gauge power on a term if they like that what's her name Ada says that if he lies to her they're gonna kill him.
Okay,
Okay, so if he lies to
as I've said, right, him being caught in a lie and dying later down the line is still preferable to
no
him
wait
dying
not to
here,
his goal. Wait not
because
to his ultimate goal.
obviously not to his ultimate. Or yeah, I would argue to his ultimate goal, because
What is
what
it?
I'm trying to say here is Amato is not lying because if he is lying, right, he's not lying because he thinks that they won't fact check him. He would rather be lying to buy himself time to get in a safe situation, or to prove
I'm
himself
not.
to be of
Yeah,
more use later on, so that they still cannot kill him.
I'm not saying that he's doing it or he's lying because they would fact check him or whatever. I'm saying that him knowing that is something that could feasibly happen due to their power and how much above everyone else they are and how they can gauge power. Him knowing that could happen and having this lie in his back pocket rather than just saying something else that would give him some similar level of what is it,
Okay,
leverage on the
so
situation.
let's take into that, right. What other leverage does he have to keep himself alive?
The limiters, this what is
The
he
limiters on code, the one that he just took off
did he take him off after this or before this?
before this. I
Oh
believe he takes
shit.
them off right at the end of 71. Yeah.
Let me go
And
look at it.
his code is trying to kill him. He says Ada a word. It's about Kawaki.
I
That's
mean,
the very opening of chapter 71.
he has leverage over the village and whatnot. What the village view Ada and Damon have, which is kind of what Ada needs.
I'm sorry. I couldn't quite understand what you meant.
Basically, I was saying that he has like authority over like if the village takes them in or not.
So that's just more leverage.
Yeah.
So how does he have that exactly?
How does he have the authority?
Yeah.
Because they know that they basically know that Amato's not going to trade on them, whereas they don't know that for Ada and Damon.
But Shikamaru already made that gamble when they had Amato on their side.
The gamble
Shikamaru
of what?
already offered them haven in the Leaf
What chapter?
in chapter
In
70.
what context?
Let me go back to exactly what he says.
Okay.
I want to find it. Oh, it's the end of chapter 69, the beginning of chapter 70. Let me start with what's said in 60. So, Ada, I have a proposition for you. A proposition, she says. Won't you come over to Konoha? Think about it. I believe we can mutually aid each other. Ada sits there and thinks for a minute. She has like the quiet speech bubble of just And Shikamaru follows up with, and afterward, you can tell Kawaki how you feel or whatever else you want. Amato is processing. He also has the quiet speech bubble. Kawaki just says what in all caps, like confused and angry. And then we switch to chapter 70. And the opening of chapter 70 is Shikamaru like continuing to try and persuade her. Everybody kind of stops and it shows the like JoJo style tension marks all around.
Is this not all to keep Amato alive?
Why? I don't see as to why. It's probably, if anything, to get Damon and Ada. But that
Well, yeah,
doesn't matter. That doesn't matter so long as off. So
you
long as
this also stops Code innately from getting his power back, which they know is said to be on the level of or above Jigen, and it stops Amato from dying, which is someone who created people like Delta.
So you're saying they value Amato? That's fine.
Yeah. So ultimately, this still lies on Amato's authority and leverage.
That doesn't entail that. So just because Shikamaru sees an advantage in keeping Amato, right? And that is just entirely speculative. He doesn't say that, he doesn't think it. But it is an advantage, and so I'll say that it's possible that's Shikamaru's idea. Shikamaru offers this to her, says nothing on keeping Amato alive, right? He doesn't
Well, they
say,
don't
"Oh,
like Amato, so it wouldn't be very, it
okay."
wouldn't be
So then
very.
you've shut yourself down then.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, because your argument is, oh, well, Shikamaru saw this as an opportunity to keep Amato alive. Oh, but he doesn't mention keeping Amato alive because they don't like Amato. So does Shikamaru want Amato alive, or does he want him dead?
Well, that doesn't shut me
I'm
down.
sorry. More so, does Shikamaru want Amato alive, or does he not care whether Amato lives or dies?
That doesn't shut me down, Spencer. I'm saying he can want him alive,
You
but
just
also.
caught yourself in a double bind. Do you understand what a double
Do you
bind
want me,
is?
do you want me to speak, or do you want to just talk over me? Because I was going to
Okay,
explain.
so I'll just do this because it's an impact to what I'm trying to say in a way that any judge would just write off your argument, right?
Okay,
So I'll say the impact to if you are caught in a double bind, and if you're not, I'll give you a chance to explain why you're not.
Sure.
So a double bind is which an argument has two premises that entail one that's mutually exclusive from the other, right? So he said, okay, well they don't like Amato. They don't care about his livelihood enough. Is the entailment care about his livelihood enough to say don't kill Amato, or this is contingent on you not killing Amato. But he also says that Shikamaru calculates or views Amato as a pass back into the village, and that having Amato with them means that they will have the authority to re-enter the Leaf Village. Neither can be true. Neither can be true if the other is also true. They're
Okay, can
mutually
you type that
exclusive.
out?
And so
I'm not following
one
you.
of them must not be the case. So I'll let you explain as to why you don't think you're in a double bind. And if I think you are, I'll just point it out once more and we'll move on.
No, I wanted you to type it out because I'm not following with what you're saying.
Okay.
At all.
So at least as I understand it, your argument one, I'll just say A1, just so we can keep these clear. I don't like doing this syllogism bullshit, but I just want to type it out so we can see everything. A1, Amato is a pass back into the village and gives them authority to re-enter because he is useful to Konoha. You pointed out that he can create deltas, blah, blah, blah. So you said because he is useful to Konoha. So then argument two is Shikamaru, right? Because I said, okay, if that was the case, Shikamaru would point out, or we would get some sort of thought bubble that, hey, Shikamaru may want Amato back in the village. Your second argument is Shikamaru doesn't do that. Shikamaru doesn't request Amato. Because he doesn't fuck with him, right? That's basically what it is.
Because I guess because they don't. I was more so saying that Delta and Ada don't, or Ada and Damon don't.
All right. So you understand that why these arguments would kind of conflict with each other?
No.
I feel as though I pointed out why they have. So if you'd like to elaborate on why they don't, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. See, Amato is a passive village. Well, you kind of misconstrued my second argument. My argument that he doesn't mention him because they don't have to know his value, but he can still know his value, or know Amato's value to the village and whether or not they come into play or not.
So Amato's value is not so much that Shikamaru would request his life.
Well, it's implied in the situation that he needs his life because of how the situation he's in, because of where Amato is. He's about to lose his life, and then he proposes this idea. It's just something that, like, if you brought it up,
this
if you
deal
Amato's life,
is in
and
no
they
way
and
made
they
contingent
then it
by
would
Amato's life. That's the
What?
issue.
What?
This deal is in no way contingent on Amato's life.
How can you prove that?
Because the deal is just come to Konoha, fuck Code. That's all
Yes,
that it
fuck
is.
Code. Fuck Code, who's about to get his power back, who's on the level of Jigen, and kill fucking Amato. That literally relates back to his life.
Except for that's not stated. You're just saying, okay, this is implied by the sequence of events, right?
Okay.
But it is Shikamaru implying this because he knows that, okay, is Shikamaru giving this because, oh, he knows that what's his face, Amato is about to give up the power, or because Amato's about to die?
Okay. So you think it's because all you had to say was that you think it's because Amato's about to give up the power?
Well, I'm asking you.
Well, no, because you're saying it. Is that not your supposed equal interpretation that you're trying to give?
You're saying that Amato's usefulness to the village is right because if they killed Amato, there would be no one who knows Code's limiters, right?
Who can unlock them? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To our
So you said Amato's a path back into the village, gives authority to re-enter the village because he is useful to Konoha.
Mm-hmm.
So he has use outside of the limiters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So your argument is because Shikamaru interrupts the death of or the torturing of Amato, that's his real reason for the proposal. But the proposal doesn't happen when Amato's getting tortured. Amato's torturing has ceased at this point, right? It's been put on pause by the reveal that Kawaki or that Ada likes Kawaki, and that's when Shikamaru makes his proposal or his propositions.
I don't know.
So I
That have
think
to
it's
look.
rather that he sees an in, right? Because he doesn't have any leverage on Ada. He doesn't know what Ada wants, so he can't bargain with her.
Yeah,
So whenever
I
he
just want
sees
to
something she wants,
verify what
he
you're
also
saying.
sees the neutralization or the gaining of Ada and Damon. So
I
I
want
think
to go
he
verify.
only knows of Ada
I
at this
don't.
point.
No, he's being tortured. See, how does this happen?
What you're looking for, I'll just post it in order with page numbers so you can see.
What chapter is that scan from?
69. These are
Yeah.
all from chapter 69. I think I've already posted. No, I haven't posted the end of chapter 69. So I'll post it.
No, yeah, he's getting stabbed.
Yeah, his thumb is still in him, but Amato is he's not like pushing it deeper or twisting it anymore, which he was
But
doing
that
earlier.
doesn't matter. It's still paining him, and he knows it's probably going to continue. Okay, what was the rest of your argument? I just wanted to see if what you were saying was true, which I don't think it was.
And then we continue into the later chapters.
I just wanted to hear the last part of the argument.
Of what argument? As to why it's a double bind?
If that's what you were arguing, it's the last thing you were talking about it, something about his leverage.
Oh, because you're trying to argue. Okay, well, this is implied. This implies in some way that Amato is lever or Amato is the key, and that's all that she has to forfeit. But that's never discussed or even thought about during this negotiation or the offering of the proposition. Really,
Is the why do you think the implication isn't valid?
I'm saying that while the timing, right, while there's a correlation in the timing, I see no evidence of causation.
Okay, so correlation doesn't equal causation. I agree with that generally. In this case, though, when someone's getting tortured, that's been proven to be an ally to the village.
And you just go
And
back to like, oh, he's getting tortured. He's somewhat useful to the village. And what? Why does that mean that this is the cause of Shikamaru's proposition? Because if you can justify why Amato's life or lack thereof is the cause of the proposition, then I would agree that it's implicit that Amato must be brought back. But
well, you know
until
you
that's
know
given weight, I don't see as to why.
right after he's stabbed, he then starts questioning Ada, huh? He
Right
asks what are
after
her
Amato
motives.
stabs,
Yes.
let me take a second look.
Okay. It's page 36 and 37. I think.
Because Ada shows up in 26, right? Or maybe before. Let me go back. Ada shows up significantly earlier. I think she's there in chapter 68. He's like, Ada.
Now this
Um,
is in chapter 69.
yeah, I'm looking at the beginning of 69 right now. These all happen in 69. But you said that he starts questioning Ada after the stabbing. So I'm looking to
Yeah.
see all of Ada's presence, right?
Okay.
Um, because I'm just trying to analyze it all because a lot of Shikamaru's dialogue is thoughts. So I'm specifically communicating with Ino. He midway through chapter 69, he's talking with Amato through Ino um, to try and like figure out how this works.
He's being threatened by death by Ada. You can read this shit out code.
He's being threatened with death by Ada.
Yeah, and Damon. I was just reading the chapter where the statement comes
Damon
from.
there?
Huh?
Is Damon there?
No. I'm talking. I was looking at the chapter
Oh,
where
you're
the
talking about Amato.
yeah. I was talking about the chapter where the stronger and everyone in the village was stuff was. He even mentions his leverage in the situation in like fucking in the skin.
Who?
Amato. He says they have no choice but to rely on him.
When?
After he says that he's the strongest in the village.
Because he's talking about the emergency shutdown.
To the strongest person in the village.
You can keep saying that. That's what we're actively debating. So the emergency shutdown is kind of important to this discussion, right? So whenever we go through and go back to 71, because that's where you wanted to go, so I had to quit what I was doing. Um, It's Konoha's job to manage Kawaki, but this concerns the other villages too. So he's Konoha's number one priority, meaning they all have no choice but to rely on me to keep his power from going out of whack. Okay? His life is not currently in danger. Currently. Like, Code isn't actively trying to kill him right there, is what I'm saying.
Which is wait, where are you talking about? 71?
71, yes. The end of 71.
Well, he's being threatened by Ada and Damon. He literally says that Damon is itching to kill him.
Okay.
So he is kind of getting a threat to his life.
That doesn't matter. I was just describing the situation. My description can be incorrect. It doesn't affect the argument.
Oh, I
Meaning
thought
they
it
all
was.
have no choice but to rely on me. Yeah, right. You're profiting from resolving a problem you yourself created by restoring Kawaki's karma. Moreover, why is it that you didn't put such a stop function in him to begin with? His Jigen forbade it, blah, blah, blah. But I can beat the heck out of him without breaking a sweat. It's as Damon says, he can deal with Kawaki's power. And if you should die, perhaps Konoha will come to rely on us siblings. You have a point, an intriguing one, but the shutdown function is just insurance to protect my standing in the village. My real objective is different. Kawaki's karma is necessary to achieve it. I'll talk, but it's a long story, something that I need to tell Konoha as well. Can you wait until we get there? Huh? You should accept Shikamaru's offer, Ada. It's as he said, if you want to build a relationship with Kawaki, you should move to Konoha.
If this nigga's lying, this
You
nigga
think
has the
so
rhetoric.
too? You admit that he's bluffing?
No, that's not what I said. I said if this nigga's lying, he has the rhetoric of the century. Everything he says leads to something that we know is true later on.
Such as?
It leads on to the implications of his true motive with his daughter and whatnot, connecting to the karma, the mediation of him and Damon with the village, everything.
Well, they have no choice but to accept Damon. We know that based on Damon's power. They can either
Okay.
Damon could just fuck them all up, and they could just live in a village full of dead people with Kawaki.
Yeah, but they also have the issue of trust because Ada wants to stay there and be safe and be like a normal person. She wants to get with Kawaki. She doesn't want to be in a village with dead people. Like he has to mediate that.
He can mediate that. I don't see why he's necessary. If they kill him and walk in the village, what changes?
He just told you what changes.
What, they see him as an enemy?
Read the pages. He tells them.
Don't worry, I'll mediate since we have to tell them about Damon too. Shall we head to Konoha Village?
Let's see. Was it 37?
That's all he says.
No.
That's
The
38.
shutdown function is concerned to protect my standing in the village. My real objective is different. Kawaki's karma is necessary to achieve it. Yeah, you haven't answered my questions, so spill it or I'll kill you. I'll talk, but it's a long story, something that I need to tell to Konoha as well.
Just because the rest of what he's saying happens to be true later on doesn't mean this thing is.
That's not what I said. That just gives a credence to it. Everything he says leads to things that we know are true later on. That's what I'm saying. That led to the comment.
Him having a true objective is it means nothing to her though. It means nothing to Damon.
That wasn't the only example I gave.
Him mediating?
Yeah.
They're in love with Ada. What are they gonna do? Say no?
What? Say no.
Let's say Amato doesn't come to the village with them. Who is going to tell Ada no?
I don't know. Kawaki, the one she wants to actually love her.
Why would Kawaki tell her no?
Because he's not enchanted by her power.
Okay, you said Kawaki because he's not enchanted by her power. Why does that mean he's going to say no to her living in the village?
Her living? That's not her objective, Spencer. Her objective is to get with Kawaki. That doesn't matter.
Okay, and she's living in the village to get with Kawaki, right? Living in the village is the next step. So Kawaki telling her no, right, has nothing to do with her living in the village.
But I'm saying that that's
I'm
not. I'm
talking about who's going to tell her no to living in the village.
That doesn't matter, Spencer.
It does matter, and I'll describe as to why. No. If there is no one to tell her no, she can live in the village with or without the mediation of Amato.
Spencer, you're completely missing the broader point. The
Okay,
broader
what's the
point
broader point?
the broader point is whether this goes with her actual goal, which is to get with Kawaki. She can live in the
Yes.
village whenever she decides to, right? Because if you agree, like no one's gonna say no to her because they're enchanted by her power. But the fact is that the only person she wants is Kawaki, so she has no reason to live in the village if she knows Kawaki has no interest in her
Why
or
does
being
why does Amato mediating her living in the village give her an improved chance with Kawaki?
because you can make it so that they live together. You can make it, Kawaki has
Do
an
they
open
live
mind.
together?
He literally, well, yeah, in the newest chapter we know they do, but he also has, a fucking stock on Kawaki. He can make him like shut down.
Yeah, his shutdown on his karma.
Okay,
Does he use this?
we know
No.
he used that. He literally said this for leverage in the chapter,
What I'm
which is
trying
why.
to explain to you, truth, is the circumstances play out the same because she could mediate herself
Okay,
by making them all enchanted by her.
if you think that's the what we're trying to improve, we move on. I think I've already said that. It doesn't affect her
Okay.
broader
So,
objective.
so seeing as I've proved, in my opinion, I've proved that there's no need for a motto after this point, right? Besides
Yes.
this emergency shutdown. Um, I find it equally possible that he's bluffing, right?
Okay.
And that just goes all the way back up. I
So
think
you
I've
don't.
thoroughly I think I've thoroughly pressed the point for why it's equally possible that he's bluffing or not. Um, and I think that it all just trickles down to this point of his use afterwards. I believe I've proven that Ada's enchantment would be equally useful in giving her a lovely life in the village, as would having a motto go to some fucking private meeting or whatever. Like I don't believe that it matters. I don't believe there's a reason as to why it matters. I don't think anything significant was shown, and so the point would just go back to me. So I'll let you conclude on that as well.
No, I don't think I need a conclusion.
All right, so let's go to your next step.
Oh, you actually want to? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, which is delta V2 being equal to delta V1.
Mhm.
Is there a reason for it?
It's just how she's implied to be in the story. He calls her like a powerful ally to the village at this point in time, and things like that.
Okay, why does that dictate she has the same power as before?
Well, if you got someone weaker than someone who was losing to Naruto, overall, it's like what can you do against people like Ada and Damon? Even though I agree that she's not on their level,
Does
obviously, he's
she
not
have to
capable.
be? Does she have to be anywhere relative to them to be a powerful ally?
No, she has to be powerful in relation to the end, like with the threats that are being presented and who is in the village right now.
But you've said that she doesn't scale to them.
That's why I gave the second parameter to in the
Okay,
village
what's
right
the
now.
second parameter? Because the first
She has
parameter
to.
is gone now. You
Well,
admit that
no,
it holds no
it can be
merit.
both.
But you just admitted that it doesn't have to be in order to fit the criterion of a powerful ally.
In relation and relative aren't the same thing. I'm saying that she has strong power in relation to who's in the village currently and the enemies that are being presented. I guess what I'm saying. So the average these out, and I think you would get the V1 delta. Or that's what's implied at least. Bringing
Okay,
someone back.
so do you have to be V1 Delta status to be a powerful ally?
Um, I mean, do you have to be V1 delta status to be a powerful
Yeah.
ally? Around there, I would think.
Okay, and why is that?
But, bro, you know what I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, it's a circular argument.
No, what? You didn't. Okay, bitch.
You're just going to
Anyways,
go back to that same argument as before.
no, powerful. We know what he says is a powerful ally. He says this is a powerful ally. My reasoning as to what is a
Do we
powerful
have a
ally.
comparison for
Hold
what he
on,
considers a powerful ally?
my reasoning as to why it's a powerful ally and where I quantify it to be is completely different. It's not a circular argument.
Okay, so why does being a powerful ally in Amato's eyes mean that you have to be Delta V1 level? Explain it thoroughly.
Explain it thoroughly. Well, I think that if he has, we know that he has multiple bodies of Delta in the same, place in the car hideout. We know they can create
Mhm.
multiple Deltas and whatnot. If he
Yeah.
has these people
Okay.
that were able to keep up with six pass stage mode Naruto just lost this power, right?
Well, I mean,
And now
we can talk about Delta's relativity to Naruto later.
yeah, whatever. And Naruto's lost his power, and he now has to, survive without it. And there are more powerful enemies coming towards the village, and he has someone that's weaker than V1 Delta, or it doesn't make sense
Why doesn't it make sense? What
because of the
you're
enemies.
all saying? You're presupposing that Amato's idea of a powerful ally is someone relative to this six-path sage mode Naruto, or someone whose battle power must meet or exceed the threats, or meet, exceed, or be able to handle the threats that are coming.
Well,
But
I don't think.
we have no
Well,
reasoning
obviously,
for that.
I don't think that she can actually meet or exceed the threats that are coming, but I think she can meet or exceed most people in the village.
Okay. Do you have to be V1 Delta level to meet or exceed most people in the village?
Um, yeah,
Can you show me that?
she's relative to the Hokage, strongest person in the village.
Yeah, that's just you saying where you think she scales. That isn't an answer to why do you have to be like one of the big hitters in the village, right, to be considered a powerful ally.
Well,
In
what? Where
Amato's
she
eyes, mind
scales,
you. In Amato's
yeah,
eyes,
where
right?
she scales is directly evidence for that. It's evidence for what she is in terms of power.
That is not an answer to my question.
Okay, I mean,
So
I guess you think that.
you saying Delta 1 scales here, so Delta 2 being a powerful ally also scales there, has no evidence to it. Delta 2 being a powerful ally does not immediately dictate, and you have not proven that it immediately dictates, that she's relative to Delta 1. Allies in powerful, right, or power can be considered in many different ways. Uh, Delta could be able to, or I could speculate all day on Delta 2 has this, that, and the other that could dictate her to be a powerful ally outside of a combat setting, maybe in a reconnaissance setting, whatever it may be. Well,
You think that would be
she doesn't need to have or exceed the power of Delta V1 in order to be a powerful ally. That hasn't been proved.
You think any of those speculations would be equal to my interpretation?
Since your interpretation has no evidence, yes.
Well, I don't think mine has no evidence. She's shown to be, a fighter type
Okay. Well,
and have the same ability.
if that's where you want to end it, we can end it there. I think that's like the quickest you've given up a point, basically. So I'm fine moving on from that.
If you think I give it, I don't care.
Yeah,
What
I think you basically handed that to me.
else do you have a problem with?
Hmm?
What else do you have a problem with?
Delta V1 to Naruto.
They They fight. I'm talking about in speed, by the way, mostly for this one.
In speed. Could you show me
You know
that?
that. I got, yeah.
And I will honestly need chapter and page numbers.
Yeah, I
At the
don't have
very
to.
least, chapter numbers.
Yeah, I can give you chapters probably. Someone give the chapter. I actually don't know it. It's like
The fight starts on chapter 20 or 30.
yeah,
Yeah,
look at
30.
that. Let's see. Well, first, do you want evidence of Naruto going all out?
No, I'll agree to that. He's using the utmost of his ability. I'll agree to that.
So okay, all I have to prove is that they're relative.
Yeah.
Um, or you could fucking read the chapter and see this shit.
Are you just trying to say that they're like clashing in the middle, so
I mean,
somewhat
they're
relative?
Well, in the first one, we can see that there's multiple like thud sounds, and neither of them are getting like severely damaged or like outsped or anything. They're like clashing. Speed should be relative. The next one, they're doing the same thing. And then again, same thing happens. Speed should be relative. Next one, I mean, they exchange hits. Should be relative.
So that's your argument?
Do you want more examples?
No, I think that's sufficient. I don't think it matters in my counter argument.
All right, so you don't care to argue to that point?
No, like I said, I think it's sufficient.
Okay, cool. What's the next part?
I think my counter argument will be sufficient.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So about midway through the fight, after Naruto powers up, he is still getting like, right? They are still moving around, dodging attacks, hitting attacks back and forth. It's actually, I mean, I'll just show you what happens prior to this statement. This is 32, pages 2 and 3.
Okay. What is this showing?
This is just establishing that they have similar feats to what you were showing of relativity before the statement that I'm saying, that I'm going to show.
Which statement are you referencing?
Yeah, it's going to be Kawaki's statement on pages 11 and I believe 12 and 13.
The one of them saying that he's controlling the battle better.
Yeah, I'm going to show that.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. I agree that he's a better fighter. That doesn't mean he's faster or stronger.
It's like they're dancing a complex dance or something. Your dad's leading Delta around in such a way that our attacks don't come flying toward us while watching for the chance to get his own jutsu in. So, what I think this is a matter of more than just skill, but also one of speed, because he's what Kawaki's basically analyzing and saying, your dad is slowing down or waiting so that Delta's attacks go one way instead of towards us. So he's purposefully showing an opening in order to make sure that Delta's attacks, or he's showing an opening away from us so that Delta's attacks go away from us as well.
I mean, I don't know why you interpret it that way. I think it's saying that he's stopping, he's not letting the battle get out of hand as to damage the children as well, which is fine. But he's doing that by leading her away from the children, which doesn't have to mean he's slowing down his attacks or anything.
So what he's saying is your dad's leading Delta around in such a way that our attacks don't come flying towards us. Whenever he's saying this, you can literally see them not too far away from him. So it's not that he's just leading the battle away from the kids. He's leading the attacks away from the kids, which I think supports my interpretation.
The attacks would be going the attacks would be going towards Naruto, which would be in the opposite direction in which the kids are facing. That kind of supports.
But he's not in the opposite direction in which the kids are facing.
Well, oh my god, what if she's throwing a punch straight and it hits Naruto, the AoE damage or whatnot would go towards the back of Naruto instead of going towards the kids, which are on the opposite side.
But he's not continuously on one side of her this entire battle, leading her away from the kids.
Do we know that?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I can literally show it to you if you need.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Because he's not just constantly facing the children so that Delta's attacks all go behind him. The battle does take them in like multiple degrees or multiple angles.
This is what I just I think you sent the wrong thing.
No.
What do you think this proves?
I'm sending what I mean to send. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to show that the battle doesn't consistently happen at like on one linear plane, right? That they move around and switch their orientations.
Well, does it ever go to a point where the attacks will be facing or going towards the kids? Or what the fuck?
No, because as I said before, he gives her openings in the opposite direction. Or are you saying does it ever happen so that
No, I agree that he's either well, no, I don't think it has to be openings. I'm just saying that I think it could be that he's facing that way purposefully. In all these instances, they're facing away from the children. The attacks that Delta would be throwing wouldn't have AOE that would damage the children. And I'm saying that because this could be what Kawaki is meaning in terms of fucking of leading the battle. Because Naruto's such a more experienced taijutsu fighter, he's able to lead her in a direction that her attacks wouldn't be doing anything to the children, which is what we're kind of seeing. I'm saying that it doesn't have to be that he's creating an opening for himself or opening for Delta to get hit because we know that he's taking damage and he's getting weakened throughout this fight. She knows it. She's saying that he's losing stamina and whatnot. That would just
I
be
mean, losing
disadvantageous.
stamina is different from losing stamina is something that will happen in any prolonged battle, no matter what the level he's operating at. But I'm saying that he's using his
Yeah, but it's
greater
sufficient though.
speed.
It's
He's using
sufficient
his
though.
greater
Wait.
speed.
I want to attack that. It's sufficient enough that Delta notes on it and says that he's getting weakened. He's saying that he's still a human. He's still losing a lot of stamina. So that's why it's not just like a little bit of stamina. It's notable.
When does this happen exactly?
Shit. Let me go find it. What chapter is this? Hello?
32 is what I'm looking at.
It's near the end of the fight. Okay.
And this is also while Naruto's under the assumption that like Kawaki or that Delta is human, right?
Bro, what? I have no clue. If you could show me that, I don't care.
Yeah.
What is that? Well, I'll ask you after that. I'll ask you what that means.
I'll just post it. 32, page 25.
Yeah, are you talking about the human stuff or the stamina?
The human part.
Okay, I'll get the stamina one. Yeah, here it is. He has monster strength. He's still just a human. Looks like he's starting to get tired. Okay, where were you going with the human? Knowing he's a human or she's a human?
Believing that she's a human. Yeah. His win con, right, is a way to put it.
Oh my god.
His win con, as you might put it, is like, I'm gonna get a few more hits in to damage her, and then she'll slow down enough for me to get like a juicy Rasengan.
Okay, show me that.
I already posted.
Oh, let me read it. If I could,
Good. If I can get her
no.
to fire off
He could
just
be
a few
talking
more
about. He
shots.
could be talking about her destructive beams. I'm pretty sure in this fight he notes that they take a lot of chakra, like when she first uses them.
I'm talking about her durability. Why would he believe that her using her destructive beams would then make it easier for him to like overpower her absorption? No, he's under the concept that she has like
Because
a
they use a
human
lot of chakra.
durability, and as she uses more and more chakra, she will become weaker. That's what I'm noting.
Hold on. My mom called me. You have to repeat that.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, basically, that Naruto's win condition is get a Rasengan in after a few more shots of her laser blast, right? Because he
Yeah.
believes, just like a human, her durability will change as her chakra decreases.
Wait, why is that what he's thinking?
That's what he says.
Well, no, he says so we can get a Rasengan, and he doesn't say why. I interpret that as he uses it so he can overload his absorption, which is what he does. Hold on, apparently my dogs are chewing on something out there. I'll be.
Troy, should I start pressing this nigga? Or should I keep playing it casual?
Start pressing. We need to see how he does under pressure, bro. Start pressing.
I mean, if you insist.
Spencer, who's your favorite DBS villain?
DBS. I like the fanfic villain. The argument makes no fucking sense, right? I'm gonna tell you why. So the issue with what you're trying to say is, okay, well, Naruto's going out of his way to get a Rasengan in because her chakra's low, so he can overpower her. Why does her having less chakra mean that he can overpower her more easily with a Master Rasengan?
Huh?
Your argument is, you just said it, I'll remind you of what it is, right? That what he's trying to say is if she fires off more shots, she'll be more easily susceptible to his your perceived win con of using a massive Rasengan to overload her eyes. So why does having less chakra mean she can absorb less chakra?
You shouldn't be asking me that. You should be asking me why Naruto denotes this. And I think Naruto denotes this because he has no surprise or change in facial structure when he sees that she's still absorbing it with no effort. I mean, you try to place that burden on me.
That's
not
my question. All right, Truth. I'm going to break down what your arguments were.
The question isn't something.
No. Truth, listen. I'm going to break down what your arguments were. Shit. It's been going on long enough. I'm tired of letting you lead around into like useless bullshit.
I'm leading this nigga around like I'm Naruto versus Delta.
No. You're leading me into useless bullshit, and I've been letting you, and I'm done with it. Right. So the idea that Naruto is saying, "Oh, let me use up her chakra so she can absorb less chakra." Why does Naruto assume that she can absorb less chakra when she has less chakra?
I don't know why he would assume that, but I can tell you that it's most likely that he.
So your argument doesn't follow. If Naruto doesn't
never follow if you don't let me finish. Let me finish my sentence.
No, I'm not done. If Naruto doesn't believe,
I wasn't done. You cut me off.
I don't give a fuck. If Naruto doesn't
so why do I care if you're done?
Like, if Naruto, truth. You can call me fat all you want. I'm beating your ass. If Naruto doesn't believe that to be
I'm gonna finish what I was
then
saying.
that wouldn't be a consistent win condition.
If you would note this,
so then why is it a consistent win condition?
Note this
why
because
is it a consistent win
no
condition?
change in his facial structure whatsoever. He has no surprise face. He just keeps on going with his attack.
Yes, that doesn't answer the question. That doesn't.
I'm not taking that stupid burden, Spencer. I'm sorry. I'm not letting you push that burden on me.
Why is that an unfair? Why is that an unfair burden? It's an entailment.
I told you already before.
It's an entailment of your argument. Are you refusing? Are you refusing to justify entailments of your argument?
I told you before I didn't have to accept that burden.
Okay, answer it one more time, buddy.
I don't have to accept that burden because all that matters to my argument is that Naruto probably did note this. And I proved this by showing that he has no change in his facial structure whatsoever. And he just continues using his big Rasengan on Delta. Okay, I don't have to answer why. Wait. I'm not done. You want an explanation and you don't let me finish. I'm not done. And the reason, I forgot what I was saying, bro. Oh my God. And the reason, shut up, nigga. I'm taking my time. Anyways.
I'm the reason you take your time. Hurry up.
Reason we know this, I don't care. And the reason we know this is because when he uses Rasengan, right, he doesn't just stop. He doesn't have a change in structure like, oh, she's actually absorbing it. He just keeps on going, and his plan works. He says himself that he didn't hold back in the Rasengan. He was planning to just blow her up because he couldn't get any more information out of her. That is my argument. That burden that you try to push on me won't work. It doesn't work at all. I'm not doing it. So you're done leading.
I'm going to break down as to why that was for shit, right? So Naruto later goes on to explain that the Rasengan that Delta sent back at him was as is, right? Which means that there's some sort of capacity. It doesn't just dissipate or vanish. It has to be stored. So there has to be some sort of volume limit. So if there's a volume limit and Naruto is seeing her expend massive amounts of chakra, as you said, firing off these blasts, then the limit would be further away from her current ability if you were to continue to let it. No, I'm not done. If you were to continue to let her fire off blasts, which tackles your entire argument. But then I also win your argument because if you can't explain the entailments of your argument and why they would work, that would just be a reason for your argument to be incredible. So I win on two different fronts. Fight me back on both or concede.
Yes, all you did right there was give your conjecture on what you would conclude if you were Naruto in this situation. You would conclude that she has a more capacity because she has less chakra in the tank. You're assuming that Naruto thinks that she has one tank of chakra that she's just consistently putting that chakra into, rather than possibly having two tanks of chakra that are separate from each other, and one which she's not using or one which is separate from her normal chakra pool that her actual jutsu goes in. That does not matter. I don't care. You're not Naruto. right? I'm saying that Naruto probably thinks something different because we see when she does this, he's not surprised whatsoever. He keeps the same face. He keeps going on with his attack, and he says, "I was planning to blow her up." Like that doesn't matter what you're thinking of Naruto. And then what was the second part? You said something about you beat me on two fronts. What's the second front?
Your entailment not lining up with reality.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't entailing anything. I was just telling you. I told you why.
It is
I
an
told you
entailment
that.
of your
No,
argument.
I told you that in the first point. I'm not even going to attack that anymore. I think I've already
All
won.
right. So I've described why it's an entailment of his argument and why even if we look into what Naruto's saying, it doesn't match up with his argument. So I feel like that's two fronts for Naruto being over Delta, right? So I'll just leave that as is. I think we can completely move on from that point. So
Okay, you
so
disagree
far
with
I've
anything
won Kawashiki over Delta,
in your
Delta
opinion?
equal to Delta, and Delta
In your
over
opinion.
Naruto. Now let's
In
take
your
on
opinion.
Momo. Now let's take on Momo versus Naruto, right? Let's go way back.
Oh my god. Okay.
Fuck,
You know
the
this Naruto is drained of chakra somewhat, huh?
to some degree. Is it drained from his pool or from Kurima's pool?
It doesn't matter.
Why doesn't it?
Because if he's drained from Kurama's pool, he goes into six pass stage mode with Kurama's chakra.
Okay.
Although their pools are kind of intertwined a little bit. And we see that he is physically inflicted with pain while this is happening. And chakra is physical and mental energy. So it probably is his pool.
And why is he over Momo?
He fights him while well, if that argument goes through, he fights him while weakened, and then he's relative to him. He gets more chakra, should be stronger.
Where is he relative to Momo?
Well, he actually overpowers Momo. Let me get it.
Where does he overpower Momo in a one-on-one?
Did I just say let me get it, or am I tripping? Okay.
I just wanted to specify because it seems as though you latch on to broad questions, and I feel the need to do so.
Yeah. Anyways. Here. He dodges him in base, goes into six pass. Let me go to evidence. He dodges him in base, goes into six pass sage mode. And bro, you can go to the chapter and find this book.
He blocks him in base, dodges him in base, and then gets sent flying with a kick.
Yeah, the fact is he's still able to react to him in base. So
and he's also able to get blitzed in base.
Why is this a blitz? It comes from under him.
Because he isn't aware of the attack.
That could be because it came from under him.
You just say Naruto doesn't look at his opponent's feet when they fight?
Well, when they're having a fist-to-fist fight, maybe. Niggas throwing you a jab, you just looking at his feet, waiting for the fucking kick? No.
Anyways, Naruto not only gets kicked, just sent flying away, right? And then he's finally able to react to Momo once again when Momo comes flying after him, right?
Okay.
Which means that Momo cleared this entire distance before Naruto reacted to his presence. I'll post that.
Whoa. He could be days from that kick still. Doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
So days Naruto trying to gain his ground. Yeah, sure.
It doesn't matter. You agree 6-pass stage mode's above base, so base feats just don't matter.
Why don't they matter? Are you saying, well, under the assumption that you didn't or that you won these points? Sure. But they do matter if I won this.
Won what?
If they're reacting and scaling in base.
So base, okay. So if I show you a feat of Momo over 6-pass sage mode, then base just scales over 6-pass sage mode.
No, all I'm saying is that he can.
That's all that I'm saying.
No, wait. I'm not done. The whole point is that him being weakened to this degree, with him and Kurama's chakra or being drained, that could just mean that that's the degree to where he's weak. In normal instances, it can be fine that base is or 6-pass sage mode is like a blitz level above or whatever. I'm saying this is still a weakened Naruto that would have to be taken into account.
So you're saying that they were truth. Let me point out why your argument's dog shit once again, right? So you're saying that they had a combined chakra pool to some extent. that he took from both, right? To some extent.
A little bit.
And even though Naruto is now using Sage Mode, which would multiply his chakra, or his effective chakra pool, and also adding Kurama's chakra, or not in that order, but you understand, that he would therefore have slower reactions.
I didn't say there were slower reactions. If you can show me,
I'm saying in the hypothetical in which Naruto is displayed under, right?
In 6 fast sage mode? You're saying under the assumption that he gets blitzed in 6 fast sage mode with supposedly better reactions than base? Okay, can you show me it?
I'm saying under this hypothetical.
I don't want to answer if it's not a feasible hypothetical. I want to see the scan first.
I didn't give you that choice.
I don't give a fuck what you gave me,
Relevant
bitch.
to the debate. It's relevant to the debate, and therefore there's an obligation to answer the question.
No, it's not. Why is it relevant to the debate if we haven't gotten to that point yet? Send the scan. You're trying to force me to answer something.
Okay, so then you assume that there's a point. Thank you.
But yes, you already said the point. You said if you show me that 6 fast sage mode is getting blitzed by this Momo, would I agree? I don't have to answer that. If you have the scan, send it. You try to say you had to answer my question.
Anyways, after Naruto powers up and catches Momo off guard, he lands 2 hits and then it immediately goes.
You just snuck that in there. Where did he catch him off guard?
By powering up.
And would that be
in that order? Huh?
Well, yeah, you said it. That could also be interpreted as he powered up and then caught him off guard with an attack. In a fight, because that's what they're doing. Or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't care.
He powers up and catches him off guard, as I said.
With this attack or just by powering up?
Both. Momo is not prepared for the level of speed of this new form, right? So
his reaction
Momo's fist, right? Momo is not prepared for this and is caught off guard by it. He then gets hit twice, right? He's basically in hit stun.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Whatever. He can be surprised.
And then immediately,
I was just waiting for the evidence that you were actually going to give for your point, but if you're not going to go.
So then he uses Mikoto, has the dragons sick on Sasuke, right? And Naruto breaks the dragons. And then we go into the golem fight, where Momo forms the golem, punches Naruto. Naruto can barely catch it with both hands. Let me post that. It's Golem versus Avatar at this point. Naruto's barely able to catch this huge left hook with both hands. And then gets choked out.
What is this proving?
That the Golem's over the Avatar.
I don't give a fuck about that. I'm talking about base to base. Or 6 fast sage mode to fuse.
Golem's part of fused. It's part of his power.
Nigga, I told you that the scale was mostly in speed. So we'd be going over speed feats this whole time.
Okay.
Fuck about that goal.
Momo's chakra output is greater, but Naruto can outspeed. And this doesn't
Naruto
mean
can
anything.
Well, yeah, it does. It wins me my. Well, if I won the other points for it, I think I did. It wins me my speed scaling. This is the last point.
So I'm just gonna move on.
Okay, so let's just go on. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I actually have to scale now, don't I?
No. Well, yeah, I want you to scale. I wanna keep going. This is fun.
Oh, it's Borushiki versus Fused?
Okay.
I forgot what we were arguing again.
I mean, we just finished my scaling. You can go ahead and scaling if you like.
I'm just gonna jump to Old Faithful on this, right? Just make a practical argument. So karma, huh?
No, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So karma, right? Is the data, the DNA of these people or of these Otsutsuki extracting into the youth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we know that Momo has the power, even when he's like weakened, to make these huge fucking death balls. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right. But then subsequently, Borushiki needs needs Naruto's chakra to make a similar or smaller Rasengan.
Smaller Rasengan. So you're saying that
Zoro.
he
Here's
has better
Zoro. Yeah.
chakra? I'm trying to. I don't know how that links. So I mean, it's advantageous for Borushiki, or Borushiki only comes out when he has a little chakra, right?
Yeah, and he
Okay.
loses control to the extent where it's easier for Momoshiki to come out. Yeah.
Okay. So what does this scale to my Borushiki? Because if I showed you feats that just make Borushiki faster and stronger, the karma could have just gave him some type of amp.
No, because if for whatever reason Borushiki was stronger than Fused Momo, right? Because it's Momo. It's the even if you say yeah, it's Fused Momo that's in the karma. It's Momo who was incredibly weakened at that stage, who puts karma on the board.
Well, you don't know if it puts that weakened DNA specifically into the karma.
Is there a reason why it would do elsewise?
Again, if I show you feats that put him above, that could be the reason.
All right. So with the way that karma's mechanics work, if the only way that Borushiki can be stronger than Fused Momo, even if you say it's all a it's the fused DNA, right? The strongest fused DNA. With Naruto, that amount of Naruto's chakra absorbed, right? The only way that one could be stronger than the other would be if Boruto's base was strong, or yeah, Boruto's base was stronger than Fused Momo because of the extraction
No.
process. Yeah, let me describe it. Because of the extraction process and him becoming more and more Momoshiki than Boruto, the only way that Borushiki would be stronger than Fused Momo is if Boruto was stronger than Fused Momo.
Is if Boruto was stronger than Fused Momo? I
Yes.
disagree with that.
So I've described as to why through the karma extraction process. Do you have a reason as to why karma doesn't work that way?
That's not what I have to disagree with. All I have to disagree with is that it leads to your conclusion. So, I need to scan to see that. Hold on.
What, the karma extraction process?
What?
That's how
What?
it works.
What?
I'm confused because I've given you evidence to a conclusion. I asked you if you disagree with the evidence. You
Well,
said
yeah,
you don't need to
Boruto and
disagree with the
Kawaki.
evidence to disagree with the conclusion. So that's not how it works, right?
That
You have
doesn't
to
matter.
disprove an
Boruto and
argument.
I
You can't
have
just
I have a
wait. Let me
reason.
finish, Truth. I'm not done. You have to
You want to hear
disprove an
me?
argument. You can't just disagree with its conclusion, right? And dismiss the evidence. So, do you
That's
have a
not what
reason to dismiss the
I said.
evidence?
Yeah, for one, that's not what I said. Two, yes. The whole explanation could be that his karma is resonating with Kawaki's, which makes it stronger.
It makes it stronger, the karma stronger, it makes the user stronger. Because it would have to do one and not the other.
Because it had to do. You said it has to do one or not the other.
Yeah, in order for your argument to be correct, it has to make the user of the karma stronger without making the karma more advanced.
Okay.
Do you understand why that's the case?
I don't care. It says their powers get amplified.
They're powers of karma, most likely.
Why is that most likely?
And I'll describe as to why it's most likely. Because we know that they're like resonance or dyad can activate one's karma when the other's is, or activate one's karma when another comes. It seems to progress or activate or strengthen the actual karma, which would
Where's
just make
recent
him
evidence
more
for that?
Momoshiki. Do you need
In the evidence.
me, or do you need Kawaki turning on karma for Boruto? I can show you that scan.
I'm kind of confused with where that leads. Like I don't know
Okay.
how that leads to the argument.
So if the resonance or the dyad, whatever it may be, only strengthens the karma or progresses it further, then that would mean that there's no way Borushiki can be stronger than Momo, even in the resonance, unless Boruto is stronger than Momoshiki. Because if the resonance only amplifies their karma, then he would just be closer to Momoshiki. And if the argument that Boruto is stronger than Momo is held, right, it would just be instead, okay, well, he would be even weaker in his Borushiki form.
Okay, send the scan you're referencing.
Of Kawaki turning on karma for Boruto.
Yeah, that's what you're using for evidence.
Yeah. Let me find it. I'm on chapter 30, but it happened before and it was much more prominent, if I remember. I got it. Here we are. Quit with the petty tricks. Use karma already. What? I told you we need to learn a lot more about karma in order to figure out how to get rid of it. First, you got to be able to use it at will. That's easy for you to say. If it's that you ain't used to it yet, I'll help you. Kawaki turns on his karma. Boruto's karma turns on. Boruto says that this is the exchange that happened. It's resonating. It reacted to Kawaki's karma and emerged. What's clear is that it significantly increases your physical abilities, blah, blah, blah. In short, you get stronger. And for that to be the case, Momo would have to be stronger than Boruto. So the idea that Boruto is stronger than Momo can't be true.
Wait, why does that have to be the case? Why can't it be the case that them together makes Boruto stronger?
No, I meant what's clear is that it significantly increases your physical abilities. In short, you get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
That portion of the scan definitively proves that Boruto is weaker than Momo, or else he would not be getting stronger, but rather weaker through karma.
No, for that assumes that the amp would be, somewhat like linear, rather than it can just be exponential.
By the way, this karma point is the last point in the debate.
Yeah, that's all I need. Well, based on the Amato statement that you haven't asked me for, that you just agreed to previously.
What a motto statement. Wait, what does it
The
say?
extraction of karma turning people into the Otsutsuki.
I mean, it gives them more DNA. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what makes them stronger. So
Mhm.
Momo is over Boruto,
Why
and
do-
Momo fused Momo has to be over Borushiki.
But it doesn't have to be linear though.
Truth. Whether it's linear or exponential, it is a transference from one to the other. It's a sliding scale, right? Where there's 100% Boruto on one side and 100% Momoshiki on the other. Karma slides the scale towards Momoshiki.
Mm-hmm.
So, unless, or no, because I've proven that it's not the case, right? Or I believe that I have. As he escalates his karma, it slides closer to being Momoshiki than to being Boruto. That makes him stronger. So Borushiki, as it is not.
Well, I think a sliding scale might be a little bit disanalogous due to the fact that he can use his power while using his power as well. Unless you're saying the sliding scale goes from like 1 to 100 being Boruto, and then 100 to 200 being Momoshiki, which would be them stacked on top of each other. Is that what you're saying?
It doesn't matter. So truth. If it was 1 to 100 is Boruto and 101 to 200 is Momoshiki, that still means that he's becoming more Momoshiki as he escalates his karma.
And the power could be getting more, giving him an exponential amp due to the nature of it, not because of
amp
how.
being exponential or linear doesn't matter because it's a
Well, that
sliding.
doesn't have to lead to him being stronger than or weaker than Momoshiki, though.
It literally does.
Okay, why do you
I've
think that?
explained this why. Because if Borushiki is him getting closer to Momoshiki, right? Via using karma, that means it is still less Momoshiki, Momoshiki being the source of the karma's power, right? It is still less Momoshiki than fused Momo, who was 100% Momoshiki.
Okay, I don't think you brought up any. Did the judges understand my point? They didn't. I don't care.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you've put up your defense, we can just wrap up this point and we're done.
Yeah.
Okay. So seeing as my sliding scale argument hasn't been directly attacked, he's used indirect attacks that he doesn't know or has used attacks that he doesn't know don't attack my argument at all, right? I'll just sum it up. As Boruto uses more karma, it extracts more DNA, he becomes stronger as he becomes more Momoshiki. Therefore, as Borushiki is still partially Boruto and partially Momoshiki, that would mean it must be the case, unless Boruto is stronger than Momoshiki, that Borushiki must also be weaker than Momoshiki. All right, I'm done.
All right.
Truth?
That it? Is Truth going to give a conclusion or does it need it?
I mean,
No, like concluding.
Bet. All right. So that concludes the debate. Oh, let me my record. That concludes the debate. Thank you for your time. We've seen we need it.
I know for a fact 6